Hello, baseball fans. Kingichebooland coming to you live from the underground bunker deep beneath Tuktoyaktuk, where we are continuing on the 1961 Pennant Race in the American League. And I think I will save this game to show you the standings. So I'll just save this so we can look at the standings in both the American and National Leagues. We can see it is the 21st of September. I believe that's right. 20th of September. So we have a week there, another week and a half of the season. Actually, a little bit longer than that even. 2 weeks left in this season. 2.5 weeks. So it's not over by any means. However, it's getting close. And we see here the American League, Detroit and Baltimore are in a tie for first place. Detroit has played 2 fewer games. Baltimore has 1 additional win and 1 additional loss for just percentages below Detroit. And the New York Yankees, who of course won the 1961 Pennant and World Series, is 4 games behind and in trouble here. They had a big lead, you can see in real life, 8 games over Detroit. But here they're 4 games behind with 2.5 weeks left. The magic number is 7 for the elimination of the New York Yankees. Any combination of either Detroit or Baltimore. So let's say Detroit winning. So if Detroit wins 7 more games, the Yankees have to win every game in order to tie Detroit. And that's what that means. So the Yankees they can still do it, but they have to get busy. And complicating the matter is one thing I'll tell you about in a minute. In the National League, you can see here that the Milwaukee Braves have won 5 straight games to take the lead over the San Francisco Giants, who have led this race most of the season. In real life, Cincinnati was the winner, but they're 2.5 games back. They still have a chance. Los Angeles is 5.5 games back. They still have a chance. But it is a tight race here in the National League. So what 2 great pennant races going on right now? Well, we're going to play this game. The Yankees at Baltimore. Ralph Terry versus Milt Pappas. And we'll resume this game. There's a shot of Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. You can see here Milt Pappas, 16-5, 2.04 ERA. He leads the American League in ERA. And we'll go through the lineups. What's the best place? I guess here is the best place to do it. So first of all, we'll go through the lineups for the New York Yankees and describe who is missing. But first of all, the ones who are playing. Leading off and playing second base, Bobby Richardson. Batting second, his keystone partner at short, Tony Kubek. Batting third, the center fielder, Roger Maris. Batting fourth, the left fielder, Yogi Berra. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Johnny Blanchard. Batting sixth, the catcher, Elston Howard. Batting seventh, the first baseman, Moose Skowron. Batting eighth, the third baseman, Clete Boyer. And today's pitcher, Ralph Terry. Now for the Baltimore Orioles, leading off, playing left field, Whitey Herzog. Batting second, the third baseman, Brooks Robinson. Batting third, the center fielder, Jackie Brandt. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Jim Gentile. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Earl Robinson. Batting sixth, the catcher, Gus Triandos. Batting seventh, the second baseman, Jerry Adair. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Ron Hansen. And batting ninth, starting pitcher, Milt Pappas. And we will describe who is missing out of the lineup. He is injured. Now, of course, the Yankees had a big lead at this point, so they could rest him for the World Series, but they don't have that luxury here in the replay. And so using PC replay, and so he is on the bench. He is eligible. We'll see when the AI brings him in, but Mickey Mantle is not in the starting lineup. He already has 64 home runs. There's no asterisks. Remember the famous asterisks in 1961 given to Roger Maris for daring to hit 61 home runs on the 162nd game of the year, and getting an asterisk for breaking Babe Ruth's 60 home runs, but there's no asterisk for Mickey Mantle. He has done it way before the 154th game, so he has broken Babe Ruth's home run record and has 64, but he's on the bench today. So let's get this one underway. Some people don't know how to play this game. I haven't played much recently. This was my go-to game years ago, and I still play it every day probably. And it's one of my favorites. I love the presentation. I love the game itself. I have dice here, but I'm just gonna let them roll automatically. I don't have a camera like some people do on the dice, so we'll just use the RNG, and I'll describe as you go if you haven't seen this game in a while, but I highly recommend it. It's one of the best. It really doesn't get a lot of love on YouTube for some reason, but it is a great game. So here's Richardson. Now, the first column is the key, the first dice, because it determines which column on the batter's card that we're going with. And the first column has some singles and strikeouts and double plays. The second has singles and also can have strikeouts. And so they're very much, the first two columns are really based on the pitcher. Pitcher can do some damage there. Column 3 is mostly for hits. Hits and doubles and triples. This fourth column is for defense. So if you roll defense, roll 4, the defense is going to really take a big part in the outcome. 5 is walks. Batters control or pitchers control batters' ability to take a walk, and 6 is the power column. So I'll just go slowly at the first, even though you may have seen this game. I know some people have expressed some concern about what's going on, so that's why I'm trying to describe it. So let's have the first batter, Bobby Richardson. He is batting .243 with 2 homers and 31 RBIs with a .286 on-base percentage. And here is the pitch. So it's 5, so it's on the base on balls column. And the second one determines which. So the first one is the column. The second one determines the row. And then the last one determines what number off the pitcher's card. So the pitcher is involved in every play as well as the batter. And there's none of this half the time on the pitcher, half the time on the batter. Every pitch is on both. So you can say that pitcher has a lot more control, batter has a lot more control in this game. So the 5 column second row is 27, and then on the pitcher's number is 4. So the outcome is 31 on the 5, which is a fly out to center field. If it would have been a 1, you would add the 3 to the 4. Anything 6 or higher is a walk. So you can see Milt Pappas doesn't have great control, especially if he rolls a 5 or 6. 5 is pretty much always a walk. So you just remember they add up to 6 or higher, it's a walk. Now 40 means that it's pretty much always a walk and sometimes hit by pitch. 27, no matter what the pitcher contributes, is going to be a fly out. This one, 15, is going to be an infield hit no matter what the pitcher contributes. So you can see Richardson doesn't walk all that much, gets hit by a pitch quite a bit, and has some walks. The only one really is 1 and 3 column. So he hit the 2, 27, and the outcome is a fly out to center field. So here's Tony Kubek. So he rolls a 2. That's now, if it's this pink color, that means the ballpark is going to have ballpark and outfielder defense in this case. So it's 2-6, which is the ballpark effect. You look on the ballpark card, you take this and they put it over here. So it depends on the fielder. So Jackie Brent is a 4 center fielder, which is above average. If he was a 3, then we would roll 3, 4, 5, or 6 would be hits. If the guy's a 2, then it'd be 3, 4, 5, and 6 would be hits. If he's a 1, then then everything would be. He wouldn't get to anything. So it's a combination of the outfield defense and the ballpark outfield. So because Jackie Brandt is above average, we have to roll a 5 or 6, or the Yankees have to roll 5 or 6 to get a base hit. So here's the roll, and they get a 6. So it is a base hit for Tony Kubek, and they have their first base runner of the game. Now, I just talked about Roger Maris having 61 home runs in 1961, and it doesn't look like he's going to come even close to that in the replay. He only has 47. Now, I say only 47. Most people dream of having 47 home runs in a major league season, but in this case for Roger Maris, when he hit 61 in real life, this is disappointing. But you can see here on his left-handed, this 6 column is the power column, and the magic number is 11. So if he rolls a 4, he gets the column 6, and then row 4 or 6, he has an instant home run because you contribute the pitcher no matter what. The magic number for home runs is 12. So all he needs is 1 from Pappas, and Pappas gives at least 2, sometimes 4. The keys here are this column or row, row 1 and row 2. If he gets to row 1, remember that the magic number is 12. If Pappas contributes a 1, 2, or 3 here, they're all 2s. 9 plus 2 equals 11. That does not get a home run. That just gets a base hit. But if he contributes, rolls a column 4, 5, or 6, he'll contribute a 3. 3 plus 9 equals 12. That is a home run. And of course, 4 is 13. That's a home run as well. So those are very dangerous. Now you notice there's 2 numbers here. This one on the right is if he's facing a right-handed pitcher, which Pappas is. If he has a left-handed pitcher, you go by the left number, which is 59, which takes away these home runs. So Roger Maris hit most of his home runs against right-handed pitching. So to nullify Maris, you have to get a left-handed pitcher against him. That takes away a lot of his power. You can see if he rolls a 6 here for the column, the only way he's not getting a home run chance here is if it's a row 5, which is 16, which is just a deep fly out. But he has lots of home runs on this card. So let's hope he doesn't roll a 6 for the red. He gets a 4. So it's on the defense. Now, in this case, Jerry Adair is a 2 defense. It's the opposite of the outfield. You want lower numbers for the defensive number for the infield. The Baltimore Orioles have a very good defensive infield. Jerry Adair is a 2. So you add 2 to 16. It is a grounder out at first, but the runner at first. So it's a slowly hit ground ball. Jerry Adair fields it, goes to first. Kubek goes to second. If he's a 3, it would have been a single, an infield single. So it's very important to have defense on the infield, at least 2, but preferably 1. You get more double plays, and you give up less infield singles. In that case, if he was a 3, it would have been an infield single and 2 men on, 1 out. But he makes the play. Kubek, however, goes to second on the slow grounder.
2 outs, man on second.
Here's Yogi Berra. He's batting .241 with 14 homers, 46 RBIs. He has quite a bit of power here, but not as much as Maris. And with Blanchard even has more power. He comes close to, because he had 21 home runs and 243 at-bats. He has power pretty close to Maris. So we don't want to walk Berra to get to Blanchard for sure. And we definitely will look at the left-handed pitchers in the future. We're not going to go too many times through the lineup facing these left-handed batters with a right-handed pitcher. Here's the pitch to Yogi, and he gets nothing there. So the infield, the first inning is over, and the Yankees don't score in the first inning. We're going to go a little bit faster and try to explain a little bit quicker. Here's future manager Whitey Herzog. He's batting .315 with 6 homers and 31 RBIs. I think in his first year with Baltimore, I think before he was with Kansas City Athletics, if I remember right, in 1960. Here's Herzog. Okay, 11 is always an error check. So Kubek is a 34. So he has a little bit more than 50% possibility of an error. We just have to roll higher than 34. And we roll a 12 that's under 34. You ignore the blue. It's the first two numbers. The only way the blue comes into play is if you roll a 6. And if you roll a 6 and it's an error, it's a 2 base error. Otherwise, it's just a 1 base error. So Herzog is out. Kubek makes a great play, does not commit an error.
One out, bases empty.
And there's one out. Here's Brooks Robinson. He I wouldn't say way underperforming, but he is underperforming as he only has 4 home runs and 64 RBIs. He's there for his defense, which is very good at third. And it's just a fly out. If he would have had 11, you had a base hit. If he would have had this one, 63, you notice all the outfielders for the Yankees are 3 or less. So that would have been a double. But he hit the one in between, which is a fly out. And there's 1 away, or 2 away.
2 outs, bases empty.
Here's Jackie Brandt, 291 hitter, 16 homers, 74 RBIs. Now he hit the power column, but he doesn't hit a lot of home runs, but he has a chance at a double. And it's based on Maris's defense. If you roll higher than 3, you'll have a double. If you roll 1, 2, or 3, he'll hold him to a single. And he holds him to a single. He gets that ball quickly, throws it in, and Brandt has to stay at first with 2 out.
Man on first.
Here's the main power hitter for the Orioles, Jim Gentile. He has 44 homers and 126 RBIs, batting .298. This game is very accurate. The only thing sometimes you see homers maybe a little bit off, either higher or lower than real. But usually the other numbers are all very accurate. And here is Richardson's a very good fielder. He makes the play, and the inning's over.
No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on. Top of the second.
Here's that dangerous Blanchard we were talking about. He has 17 homers, 40 RBIs. We're going to avoid column 6 here. And he does. Gets a strikeout. So on strikeouts in here, you add 3 to whatever number that the pitcher contributes. And if it's less than 7, it's a strikeout. So 3 plus 2 is 5. It's a strikeout.
1 out, bases empty.
Here's Elston Howard, 348 hitter. In real life, in the replays, batting .372. 26 homers, 88 RBIs is a very good year for Elston Howard. And he gets a power column, but it's just a deep fly out. The 16s will score a runner from third, but really don't do much else. It's just a deep fly to the deepest part of the ballpark.
2 outs, bases empty.
Here's Muscaurin. He's batting .255 with 19 homers, 76 RBIs. Quite a bit under his real-life production. Here's the pitch to Skowron. He gets the power column, but hits... If you want to hit the power column, you want to get an even number for the second. So you get this 2, 4, or 6, which are all home run possibilities. Especially with that 6 there, he's going to contribute 4. So all these probably have been home runs. But he hits the odd one, which is a deep fly out. Some great hitters, though, have, like, remember Maris, he had a home run possibility on the row 1, but not Muscaurin, so he is just out.
Bottom of the second.
Go to the bottom of the second. Here's Earl Robinson, 256, 8 homers, 32 RBIs, the 8 homers that he had in real life. Now here is a rare play. This 4-3-4 is a rare play number. Now we roll a 4th number. This will determine whether it's just a foul out, which is a ballpark effect. 3 or 5 are go to the rare playbook, and even numbers are just an infield hit, a hit field ground ball, and a test of the batter's speed. So it's an even number. So he's a 4 runner. So if he roll 1, 2, 3, or 4, he'll be safe. If he roll a 5 or 6, he'll be out. And he rolls a 3, so he's on with nobody out. Good start for the Orioles.
2 outs, man on first.
Here's Triandos, the catcher. 17 homers, 67. And he's batting .279. And he's not a bunter. I can just tell his hit and run, though, is not too bad. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to hit and run at this point to try to stay out of the double play, because this is a double play. This is a double play. There's 3 double plays on the 4 column, and on 1 column, this is a double play, this is a double play, and this is probably a double play because Terry's a good defender. So he has a lot of double play possibilities. So we're going to hit and run here, try to stay out of the double play. And that's not a good roll. So if I didn't hit and run, it would have been a good roll for Triandos. He would have had a walk with a possibility of a wild pitch or pass ball. But because I hit and ran, the pitch is fouled off and it's called off. So now I cannot hit and run again. You notice that the option for hit and run is gone. I can still bunt, but he's a terrible bunter. So let's, we got to roll, and hopefully he doesn't hit into a double play. Okay, so this is one where the lefty-righty split comes in. Ralph Terry's a right-handed pitcher. Triandos is a right-handed batter. So it is a leaping catch by the shortstop. If Triandos would have been a left-handed batter, he would have got a base hit, and Robinson would have went to third. You want to, as a batter, try to have the opposite if you can.
1 out, man on first.
Here's Jerry Adair with 1 out. Should he hit and run? Now here's a double play. This is a double play, and with this defense, double play as well. Hansen is on deck, and then the pitcher. We'll just swing away. Didn't work out well last time. This time, so it's good that we did that because he walked. Now the D is for stolen bases. However, Adair has Robinson at second, so you obviously can't steal second, so the D will not come in effect.
1 out, men on first and second.
Ron Hansen, 284 with 22 home runs and 78 RBIs. Way double the production of his real life. So we'll let him swing away here. Okay, so 55 with a 2. Now this is based on the outfield defense. If we would have hit it to Blanchard and right, it would have been a base hit because he's a 2. But Maris is a 3, so he makes the play, and there's 2 away.
2 outs, men on first and second.
Brings up Milt Pappas. Pappas has a lot of home run possibility. As you can see, he hit 3 of them in 66 at-bats, but that's pretty much all he can do. So we got to hope for the 6 column here. Didn't get it. Got the defense. Clete Boyer is one of the greatest of all time. Makes the play, and the inning's over.
1 hit and 2 left on. Top of the third.
Here's the aforementioned Clete Boyer. Defense, Jerry Adair. Easy play. 1 down.
1 out, bases empty.
Ralph Terry, much better hitter than Pappas, although he has no power. The 27 with the little hat means if there was a runner on third, it would have been a sacrifice fly, but there's nobody on third, so it's just a fly out.
2 outs, bases empty.
And here's Richardson, who flied out to center field first time up. Rare play possibility. And it's just on his running speed. He's a 4, so 5 or 6 is the only way he gets out. And he gets a base hit. Richardson on first with 2 away.
Outs, men on first.
Kubek singled first time up. And that's the easy pop out to second base. If it would have been a 2, it would have been a strikeout.
1 hit and 1 left on.
But Kubek doesn't strike out much. So to the strikeout check, he contributed 4. Pappas 3. It's just a pop out and not a strikeout. Inning over. Here's Whitey Herzog. Grounded to short. First time up. Kubek 17 plus 1. It's the easy play. He's a great defender, except for that time in the World Series when it hit him in the neck. But that was because of a pebble.
1 out, bases empty.
Brooks Robinson flied out. Okay, so we hit the ballpark. So he contributes a 4. Terry contributes 3. Ballpark contributes, so you add 4 and 3. And this means that we have to roll a 5 or 6 to get a single. If we roll 1, 2, 3, or 4, it's just a fly out. We got a base hit. Robinson is on. With 1 away, there's Jackie Brandt.
1 out, man on
He had a base hit the first time up. And he's a pretty good hit and run man. He's also a good on-base man. Double play, double play, double play, double play. 5 double play out of 36. And I can tell by these numbers he's a good hit and run man. So that's what we'll do. We'll hit and run.
It's a hit and run.
Not a good one there. He lined to drive and he throws the first for a double play. But it would have been a double play anyway. 4-4 here. So either way it was a double play.
Top of the fourth.
And we go to the fourth. We're still scoreless in this huge ball game. Roger Maris. 3. Okay, remember we said the righty-lefty. Because he's a left-handed batter, it is a base hit. If it would have been a right-handed batter, it would have been a line out. So
No outs, man on
the Yankees have the lead runner on for Yogi Berra and Blanchard on deck. Possible double play. Brooks Robinson is great defense. They have an option. I don't see why there would be any way. I mean, why would you just throw the leadoff guy if you can get the batter when you can get at least the leadoff, the lead runner? So you might as well try for it. I never understood this question much. If the defense tries for the double play, the runner at first is forced at second. Great, that's what we want. Otherwise, the lead runner is out on the fielder's choice. You might as well try. So here we go. We try for the double play. So all we have to do is roll higher than 2. And we do. It's a double play. There's no way on earth why I wouldn't try that.
2 outs, base is empty.
So 2 out. Here's Blanchard. And because of Dare, if he was a 3, he'd have a chance at an infield hit. But because he's a 2, it's a certain out.
Left on. Bottom of the fourth.
Okay, we're bottom of the 4th. We're still scoreless. Here's Gentile. He ground to second first time up. And here's his first home run chance. 8. It's all the ballpark. So too bad it was a pink, because if it's 8 and 4, that is a home run. But because Memorial Stadium was not a home run paradise, we have to roll a 6 to get a homer. Otherwise, it's just a base hit. So Gentile, if this was Yankee Stadium, this would have been a certain home run. But because it's in Baltimore, Gentile's getting robbed unless we can roll a 6. You roll a 3, so he just gets a base hit. And he's not a fast runner either.
No outs, man on first.
And a lot of double plays. Here's Earl Robinson. And here's a double play. Just like that. Instead of a home run, we got nobody on and 2 out.
That's their second double play turn today. 2 outs, base is empty.
Triandos. And he gets a walk. And we have a chance at a wild pitch, although Terry doesn't throw any wild pitches. He's a 6.
2 outs, man on first.
So the only way we got to hope for is a pass ball. Roll a 2. Gets a 4, so double play 6.
2 outs.
No
man on
wild
first.
pitch. Or the wild pitch 6. Okay, Jerry Adair. Triandos is a very slow runner. So it'd be hard for him to score from first on a double. Gets a power column, but it's a odd number, which means it's just a fly ball to left.
1 hit and 1 left on.
So a promising inning turns to nothing. Top of the 5th. We're still scoreless. Elston Howard. 3. But he contributes a 1. So chances are, yep, Memorial Stadium will eat it up. Fly ball to right field. Robinson makes the play. 1 away.
1 out, base is empty.
Skowron flied to right. First time up. Walk chance. Pappas only contributes a 3. So it is a out. Has to be 6 or higher. 3 plus 1 is 4, not 6.
2 outs, base is empty.
Cleet Boyer never was a great hitter, but a great fielder he was. He flies out the end of the inning.
An easy inning to score. 1, 2, 3. Bottom of the 5th.
We're still scoreless. We're in the 5th, the bottom of the 5th. The pitcher's duel here at Memorial Stadium in this crucial ball game. Ron Hansen flied out to Roger Maris first time up. He's going to try for the walk, but Ralph Terry's good control. 1 plus 1 is 2. Ignore this other stuff. Now what this means here, he has such good control. So even if it was a 6, he would roll again. And if he rolled a 1, he still wouldn't walk him. Sometimes you get guys with 1-6. That's the Sandy, well, I can't say Sandy Koufax. He was wild at the beginning of his career. You name a guy with great control, Greg Maddux type. He'd probably be 1-6s.
1 out, base is empty.
Here's Pappas. He has power. We talked about this before. Doesn't get the power column. He just strikes out. 4 plus 2 is 6. 2 to 6, strikeout.
2 outs, bases empty.
Herzog comes up for the third time. He's grounded out twice to short. Try something else. And this time 1-1. It's a base hit and a possible error. 65, though, we have to roll a 66 to get an error. So chances are no error here. 52 is not higher than 65, so he makes the play.
2 outs.
He's not a great fielder, but he catches everything when he gets to it. Here is Brooks Robinson. And if it would have been less than 2 out, that would be a double play. Because there's 2 out, it's just a ground out.
1 hit and 1 left on. Top of the 6th.
So we're in the 6th inning, still no score. Here's Ralph Terry. He flew to center field first time up. And he flew out to left field this time. 1 away.
1 out, bases empty.
Richardson gets a power column, but it's an odd number. So a short fly to left field. Only the great power hitters have something good on the odd numbers. And Bobby Richardson is not a power hitter.
2 outs, bases empty.
Kubek, 1 for 2. And he flies out to center field. They end the 6th inning.
And just like that, the inning's over. Bottom of the 6th.
Jackie Brandt, who will break the ice here in this crucial ball game? Not him. Strikeout. 3 plus 2 equals 5. That's within the 2 to 6 range. Strikeout.
1 out, bases empty.
Second strikeout for Ralph Terry. Jim Gentile, 1 for 2. Gets his power number. 8 plus 3 equals 11, so it's just a single. If he would have rolled this number here, the blue one, would have been 5 or 6. It would have been a home run. So 2 close calls for Gentile. Neither one was a home run. Here's Earl Robinson with 1 out. Last time he hit into a double play. He won't be a double play, but Gentile goes to second. He is out. It was a dribbler. Skowron makes the play, tosses it over to the pitcher, Terry, and that's 2 away here in the inning. But Gentile's in scoring position for Triandos, who lined out to short and walked. And the ice is broken. Those guys lumber around the bases. That's one thing I like about this. You know, when you have a 5 runner, he goes zoom, zoom, but when it's a 1, he just let's get there, let's get there. But you see here, he rolled 31 plus Terry contributed a 4, which is a 35. Anything higher than 33 is a double, and that is a double. So the Orioles take the lead here in the 6th inning, 1-0, thanks to Gus Triandos' double with 2 out.
2 outs, man on second.
Here's Jerry Adair. He's walked and flied out to left. And not this time. Boyer makes the play easily to end the inning.
1 run, 2 hits, and 1 left on. Top of the 7th.
All right, the Yankees are down 1-0. This is a crucial ball game. They need this ball game. Nobody's going to shed a tear for them, but internally in the clubhouse there, they need this ball game. They're 4 games behind. They don't want to fall behind 5 games behind Baltimore. Here's Maris. He can tie the game with 1 swing of the bat. Now he doesn't. See, if it would have been a 6-4, 11 plus 2 is a home run, but it's on the walk column. So 3 plus 4 is 7. It's higher than 5, so it is a walk. And Maris is on
No outs,
with nobody out for the Blanchard looms large up ahead. Pappas still has lots of at-bats left. Been very conservative with the base runners. Here's Yogi. And he's going to hit to another double play. A possible one. But Hansen's a great fielder, so yes, anything we roll is a double play.
That's their second double play turn today. 2 outs, bases empty.
Second double play for Yogi Berra as well, and that erases the threat. Although Blanchard can easily homer with 1 swing of the bat. Not this time. He is out.
No runs, no hits, and none left on. Bottom of the 7th.
We're still 1-0. Here's Ron Hansen. Flied to center, grounded to first. And a ground ball to third this time. Boyer makes the play, 1 away. Here's the boost check. So once you get down, that number was 8. Now it's 6 for Pappas. But we got to 0 with Ralph Terry. Then because he's pitching so well, he gets what's called a boost check. His complete game rating is 1. He pitches a lot of complete games. So the check is higher than 1. He gets another 6 on his pitcher batter's number. So it goes back to 6. He passed the boost check, and so he gets to pitch for 6 more batters at least. Pappas. Usually 5-5 is a good number for the hitter, but he doesn't walk at all, so he is struck out.
2 outs, base is empty.
Herzog. Grounded short, and singled. He's 1 for 3. He's going to walk this time. Herzog is on first with 2 out.
2 outs, man on first.
For Brooks Robinson, who's 1 for 3. But he strikes out. Ends the 7th. We're still 1 for Baltimore, nothing for the Yankees.
And 1 left on. Top of the 8th.
Go to the 8th inning. Still 1-0. Elston Howard is up. He flied out to right twice. So here, if he was a left-handed batter, if he was facing a left-handed pitcher, it would have been a double. 60 plus 2 is a double. But because he's a right-handed batter, it's just a fly out to left field.
1 out, base is empty.
There's Skowron. And that's an easy play for Brooks Robinson. We have 2 of the greatest third basemen defensively in the history of baseball in this game.
2 outs, base is empty.
And here is the other one, Clete Boyer. He is 0 for 2. And that's an out. Ground ball to the pitcher, or the first baseman, who flips it to the pitcher. And that's all she wrote for the Yankees in the 8th.
Bottom of the 8th.
Time is running up for the Yankees. Here is Jackie Brandt, singled, lined out, and the ground ball to the pitcher and struck out. So he's 1 for 4. Okay, so he contributes the pitcher of the ballpark. And we see here 4. So anything that adds up to 7 is a hit, because he contributed a 4. And so there we have a good chance of getting a base hit here. And we do. So we have a leadoff single for Jackie Brandt. Brings up Gentile with a man on.
2 outs, man on first.
He singled twice. Could have had home runs, but he singled. He's 2 for 3. This time it's going to be a double play check. So we have to roll. Otherwise, let's see, it's not a double play. But if you roll higher than 34, it'll be an error. Otherwise, it'll be an out. And it's an out. He forces the runner out at second, Gentile to first. So Kubek had 2 error checks and passed them both in this ball game.
Man on first.
Here's Earl Robinson with 1 away. He's not a good hit and run. These 10s are bad for hit and run. 26 is good. 4 is good. But these 10s are terrible. Same with the 20 and 32. So you have to roll either a 6 or 1 for something good. Otherwise, it's bad. So we are not going to hit and run. He's going to strike out instead.
2 outs, man on first.
Here's Triendos. He's the hero. He's driven in the only run of the ball game. And he hits into a ground ball. Would have been a double play if there was less than 2 out. But it's an easy play for Richardson, and the inning is over.
Top of the 9th.
All right, we're in the 9th inning. Will they pull Terry? You think that Casey Stengel would. No, it's not. It's Ralph Houck now. That's right. First year without Casey Stengel in 61. Yes, they take him out, and they bring in Hector Lopez. He's batting 177. Kind of a curious person to put in, but that's what they chose. But he's going to have a base hit chance. Looping drive. Jackie Brandt is a decent fielder. So if they roll a 5 or 6, they have a base hit. 1 to 4 is an out. And he rolls a 2. Jackie Brandt makes a great play. And there's 1 out here in the 9th. Bobby Richardson, 1 for 3. 3 plus 2 does not equal 7. So it's a short fly out to right field.
2 outs, base is empty.
And the Yankees are down to their final out. Pappas doesn't even need a boost check. He hasn't even reached his boost check yet. That's because he's only given up 3 hits. And how many has he walked? 1. He's walked 1. I guess I could see it here. He has his ERA is down to 195. His WHIP is .99. But we have a chance at a hit. Looping line drive. And the same thing again. They have to roll a 5 or 6 or the game is over. And they get a 5. Kubek is on. Clutch-based hit. So we get the boost check now. Roll the 6, which is higher than 1. So Pappas gets another 6 batters. However, I am tempted to bring in a left-hander to face Murderer's Row here. You have Billy Hoft. Because Maris could easily hit one out here. Oh, Billy Hoft is also a guy who doesn't give up many home runs. I think we have to. Okay, he's the only one that's available too. The Wilhelm is the closer, but he is tired. You can tell because he's red. So we're going to bring in Billy Hoft. Now here, when you bring in a left-handed pitcher to face a left-handed batter and it's not the beginning of the inning, we'll see what happens here. You get what's called a relief pitcher option. Now in this case, they're advising that we can choose one column here. The good columns for the hitters are 3, 5, and 6. This is the hit column is 3, 5 is walks, 6 is power. However, because we're facing Roger Maris, it's suggesting 5 that we take the 2. We take whatever the top number that we choose. However, I'm going to take 6 because even if we roll 6, 6, it's not an automatic home run. We have to roll again. We have a chance to nullify the home run. If perish the thought, he hits a home run here and gets 6, 6. But you know what's notice here, we're taking away the home run on 1 and 4 by bringing the left-hander at this point. So that's why it was a no-brainer for us. And he's good. 181 ERA and 109.1 innings. He has 3 saves. He's 8-3. That takes the home run chance down substantially. And that's what we wanted to do. Even though Pappas was throwing a shutout. Here we go. Will it pay off? And you notice here, all these numbers are gone. It means no matter what the blue says, it will be a 1. Look, he gets up. See, if we would have chosen 3, the game would be over. He contributed 2, Maris a 5. That is a single. And Kubek gets to try to go to third. Unless we roll a 12. If we roll a 12, the game is over. If we roll a 7, not only did Kubek go to third, but Maris has a chance to go to second and to have the winning run at both the winning and tying runs in scoring position. And we do. So not only this, Maris has a chance. That's what the plus means. He has a chance to advance if he rolls, if the speed is equal or higher than the roll. So we have to roll higher than 3. Otherwise, Maris is at second base. And he's, oh man, we got 2 guys in scoring position now for Yogi Berra. Oh, it's tense here, ladies and gentlemen. And we definitely won't walk him to get the Blanchard. Here's the crucial pitch. Line out to right field. 29 plus 1 is 30. If it would have been 34, it would have been a double and both these runs scored. But he rolled a 29 plus 1 is only 30. He lines out to Robinson. They end the game. And the Baltimore Orioles win the game 1-0. Milt Pappas the win. He goes to 17-5. Ralph Terry gets the loss 14-6. Billy Hoft gets his 4th save and the MVP of the game. Even though he did not pitch a complete game shutout, still is Milt Pappas. Here's the line score. 8 hits for Baltimore. 1 run, no errors. Yankees, no runs. 5 hits, no errors. Milt Pappas, his ERA goes down to 195. Ralph Terry's drops to 266, but takes the hard luck loss. So let's look at the up-to-date standings. We might as well play the rest of the games here so we get to the end of the day. So Boston and Chicago, Both these teams, I believe, are Chicago's eliminated. Yep, E for eliminated. So this game means absolutely nothing. Autoplay it. 8-7 Chicago. These two teams have long been eliminated. 4-2 Kansas City. Now here is a crucial game. Detroit. You can see here in the standings, Baltimore has a half-game lead over Detroit because they beat the Yankees, who are 5 games back, and their elimination number goes down to 4. But Detroit wants to keep pace, and they have to do it against the expansion Los Angeles Angels, who are almost at 500, doing very well. In real life, the Angels were 70-91, which is still pretty good. But here in the replay, they're in the first division. They are in the top half of the American League, and they will finish that. So what a great year for the Angels. But they're going to try to play spoiler here against the Detroit Tigers, who have their worst starting pitcher here, Ron Klein, on the mound. So the game is winnable for Los Angeles. Let's see what happens. Oh, Detroit wins it. So they go back into a tie for first place in the American League. And let's look at the box score there. Klein gets only his 3rd win as opposed to 12 defeats. Imagine if Klein just was a 500 pitcher, the Tigers would be way ahead in the American League. Bozefield only gave up 1 earned run but takes the loss. And K-Line gets his 17th home run. Now the big story here is Norm Cash. I'll show you his numbers here. He's going for 400. He's batting .397 in the season, but we'll look at that in a second. Let's go through the National League. This is a big game here. Cincinnati, who's like 2.5 games back of first place. Pittsburgh, 1961 pennant winners are way back in 1960. 1960 pennant winners are way back in 61, trying to play spoiler. And they don't. They're shut out 4-0. The Cubs. I played as the Cubs all year. They're out of it. But they did better than real life. That's all you try to do. In real life, they won 64 games. In the replay, they won 67. I consider it a victory. They're going up against Koufax, who's 22-7. Breakout season for Koufax. Let's split. So in real life, he was 18-13, 352. But in the replay, 22-7. 75 walks. His walks are down. His strikeouts are going to be ahead. He's pitching way better than real life. He's going up against Ellsworth, 3-17. Not very good. But the Cubs win it, beating Koufax 6-5. And you see Ernie Banks got his 26th home run. Charlie Neal and Duke Snyder homered for the Dodgers, but Ernie Banks was the MVP. Here is a huge game. You look at the standings. Milwaukee and San Francisco, 1st and 2nd, 1.5 games back of Milwaukee. It's in Candlestick Park. Lou Burdett going for Milwaukee, 16-12, against Mike McCormick, who is 18-9. And it's won by San Francisco in 11 innings. How do they score their last run? I guess I could just go like this. It'd be faster. So you see Chuck Hiller singled. Willie Mays singled. Tried to bunt. It's an error. So bases are loaded. Then Cepeda flies out. Matty Alou flies out. And John Orsino, backup catcher, gets the base hit to walk it off in the 11th. And the Giants win. And now we see this. Well, we'll just play his last game. Doesn't mean much. The Philadelphia Athletics, or Philadelphia Phillies, trying to avoid their 100th loss, beat the Cardinals. You always got to like that. So that is the final day of the 20th of September. And we see here half a game now separates the Braves and the Giants. Cincinnati 1.5 games back, and the Dodgers fall 5.5 games back because of the spoiler Cubs. Now look at the leaders. Norm Cash batting .397, on base .500. Slugging Mantle .764. Cash is .755. So you can see here runs Mantle 137. Now this is including the National League, right? Yes. National League can't come close to the American League's numbers. Look at the doubles. K-line 48. Triples. Here's where the National League. Altman for the Cubs 13. But here are the home runs. 64 home runs for Mickey Mantle, breaking Babe Ruth's record. Runs batted in. Colavito 136, one ahead of Cash. His teammate 135. So let's look at the pitching leaders. Milt Pappas leading the world with a 195 ERA, and he pitched great today. The most handsome man in the world, Don Massey, has 24 wins, leading the major leagues. Whip 1.00 for Pappas. Lou Burdett has the fewest walks per 9 innings. Koufax leading strikeouts per 9 innings. Hoyt Wilhelm, 19 saves, leads the major leagues. Gene Connolly of the Boston Red Sox give up 49 homers. So that is up to date for your 1961 pennant race. And we go to the September 21st, and we see the Yankees and the Orioles will play again. Now the key, do we have Baltimore versus Detroit? Baltimore can really put a dagger in the Yankees' hearts with this game here. They got Jack Fisher going 11-10 versus Bill Stafford. He is 14-9. 13-10. So that is a huge game. And then let's see if Baltimore, they play Chicago, and Detroit faces the expansion Los Angeles again. So that's advantage Detroit, I would say, for the weekend series. Then we go next week, and Detroit gets to play Kansas City, last place Kansas City. I believe they're last place. Yes. So Detroit has a favorable schedule, and you get to play a doubleheader against them, while Baltimore is idle. So that's where Detroit's going to get their makeup games. They get their makeup games against Kansas City. So that is a huge advantage for Detroit. Then they go another game with Kansas City, while Baltimore has to go to New York. What a difference. You'd say, I think the schedule favors Detroit at this point. So they have Detroit then goes another game. They have 4 games against Kansas City, while Baltimore has to face the Yankees in New York. And that's over with. Then on the weekend, okay, a little bit tougher for Baltimore. Oh, and again, tough for Baltimore. They have to play Chicago, while Detroit gets to play Minnesota, who's 64-86. So Baltimore has tough schedule. Detroit has a weak schedule. And then we go to next, and that's the end of the season. So you'd say Detroit has the advantage. Baltimore does not get to play Detroit. So the pressure's really on Baltimore. If they want to be the American League champion, they are going to have to face a lot of tough teams, while Detroit has a lot of weak sisters to play against. The toughest team they play against are the Angels, the expansion Angels, who are 2 games below 500. Well, that is the update. We can look at what between Milwaukee and Giants, what their schedules are like. San Francisco on the weekend here goes to Cincinnati, which is tough. They're the 3rd place team. They're also in it. So that's a huge series. Well, where are the Braves? They don't play on Friday. They play against the Cubs. So advantage Milwaukee on the weekend series. Then next week, Milwaukee faces St. Louis, who's a 500 team. And San Francisco goes to Philadelphia, who's the worst team in the National League. So that is advantage Giants. And then we go to Thursday. Giants go to Pittsburgh, while Milwaukee face... they're the weekend, the final weekend. If it's close, these are going on YouTube for sure. Final weekend, Giants at Milwaukee for all the marbles. This race is great. The nation is glued to their TVs and radios and newspapers for this great pennant race. In 1961, real life, they were glued because of Maris. Half the people didn't want Maris to break the record. maybe more than half. But they were glued to that just for that reason. But here in the replay, they have other reasons. They have pennant races, great pennant races to be excited about. Mantle has already broken the record, so that's not going to be it. Although we have a 400 bid from Norm Cash. Norm Cash going for 400. In real life, he batted 361. He's batting 397 in the replay. We'll keep you posted on that as well. In the meantime, I'm also started. So I finished the 60 World Series. And the Yankees, if you notice in real life, it was a 7-game series. And the Pirates won on Mazeroski's home run in Game 7. One of the classic moments in all baseball history. But in the replay, that didn't happen. 5 games it only took for the Yankees to win. They won game number 5, 4-1 to finish the World Series. So they're World Series champions in 1960. In 1962, we are in the middle of May, or near the end of May, and I'm playing as the Dodgers. I don't know why I picked the Dodgers. I thought, I don't know, I just want to have a team with some great pitching. So I picked, the Cubs. They're the worst team, even though they're worse than the Mets right now. They're 3.5 games behind the horrible Mets, which are the worst team in history. The Cubs are even worse, 7-27. The Dodgers are fun to play as. Tommy Davis is just batting out of his mind, although he's slumping lately. But the pitchers aren't doing that great. They're not as dominant. And yet we're still in first place. And the worst thing about this team, you wonder why they had such great pitching. They had probably their best offense of the 60s in 1962. Why didn't they run away with the National League? Their infield defense was absolutely horrible. It was just dreadful. Anything on the 4 column results in disaster for the Los Angeles Dodgers. But there's, in spite of that, they're still 2.5 games ahead of Pittsburgh, 2 games ahead of San Francisco. And in the American League, look at this. Minnesota is running away with it. They won 9 games in a row. They're 27-9. And you look, where are the Yankees? Where are the Yankees? Way down here in 8th place are the New York Yankees, 15-18. They've lost 7 games in a row. They've been going up against Minnesota and losing every time. They lost a doubleheader at Yankee Stadium to the Twins. Then they lost to the Twins on Saturday. And they lost on Friday. They've lost 4 games in Yankee Stadium to the Twins. And they've lost 7 games in a row and find themselves 10.5 games back. So if they're going to do as they did in real life and win the American League in 1962, they have lots of work to do and lots of teams to jump over. So that should be interesting to find out what happens there. I just wanted to update you on that. So that is it. We'll sign off now. This is Kingicheboo updating you on PC Replay Baseball 1961 and 1962. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.